Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Anonymous. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this channel, we talk about gang stalking, we talk about the methods, we talk about how I'm dealing with it. And in this video, I want to talk to you how how gang stalkers pretty much use the inner workings of the mind to make you have hallucinations, sensations that are truly indistinguishable from reality, with the expectation and the hopes that you are going to act on those uh, illusions or those mirages, and therefore get produced in such a way that you are that makes you appear crazy. So this time around, where I went through the sensitization again, I was able to observe with more clarity because of everything that we have talked about. And in this video, I want to talk to you more about how those voices are made to be more real. So first, when you are when you are surrounded by gang stalkers, right, and they're sensitizing you. So one of the things that they do is that, let's see that you they start making the narrative by having antagonizing reactions to everything that you do. So you're constantly being watched 24/7. So if you're looking for something and you find it, I hear the gang stalkers say, "Oh, damn it, damn." Or if you're having a conversation with someone, regardless of where it is, at work or wherever, they have a response. So like, or they go, or whenever you are by yourself, like in my case, when I'm by myself, they do the thing where they start shaking my car, and they do the shaking of the car, to get an emotion out. And when I vocalize that emotion, they do, or they go or they have some type of reaction. So when I make these videos, there can be people behind me just whispering things, whispering reactions to what I say. So these it's interesting because like your brain kind of records this, like it ties in the reactions that they say, that they vocalize, with the emotions. So whenever you have an emotion, you're gonna hear a voice that is kind of repeating what they condition you to, like damn it, or so. Then when this happens, let's say that I'm having these conversations right now with you, I'm gonna start feeling the shaking of the car, even if there is no one there. And then when I continue making these videos, like talking, if I touch and I feel an emotion that they had already conditioned me to, I'm going to hear whatever it is that they said. And then as time goes by, the longer that is, the emotions that they cover with the responses becomes greater. So there's going to be a point where they have conditioned me to have a particular, for my mind to have a particular vocal interpretation of my emotion, like a reaction of my emotion, that my mind is going to be repeating that. And the longer it goes, the more complete this uh this this person, this voice becomes. And it's going to get to a point where there are so many emotions that you have been conditioned to have a particular reaction or to hear a particular thing, that the voice becomes more real. Just becomes indistinguishable from someone, because you have been conditioned for so long that the voice literally just covers every type of emotion, every type of expression that you cover, therefore making this entity indistinguishable from someone who actually exists. it's incredibly insane. So it's really really insane, and all it needs there for this to activate is literally you having a sensation that reminds you of that emotion. So for example, by the end of this previous conditioning, all that the trigger was someone swaying my car and literally just going. I'm not kidding you. Like, I felt the swaying of my car, and then I would feel myself going to a trance. And then when this happened, I would just hear the. And when I heard that, then the voices began speaking. So now I am rested. I am fully conscious. But while all the conditioning was happening, I was paying attention to how I felt, to how I thought, to when the voices began when. So I realized that whenever I'm making these videos, whenever I'm doing something, my eyes are very expressive. Like, my eyes move in the directions. They are very expressive in the directions that I want them to turn to. But when I am in the trance, they literally become almost static. Like, I feel like asleep. I feel this like force. I'm not kidding you. I feel this force kind of enveloping my entire head until it reaches my eyes, and I have to push this force back. And when the force is pushed back hard enough, the voices go away. I regain the movement of my eyes. I feel awake. I feel full of energy. But I feel like half asleep whenever I'm experiencing this thing. It's really insane. And this is the thing, is that your mind has been conditioned. When your mind is tired, you just have to like remember what happened to you. And then your mind is going to start replicating the sensation of the car moving. And then your mind is going to start replicating that. And then that's going to invoke the voices. And then you get entertained listening to the voices. And then then you get connected again. But the thing is that you have to be tired. So that's why drug use becomes so important. That's why if you're tired, if you're not rested, the voices are gonna, like, whenever I was sleeping, they program my mind literally to feel my car swayed, pushed around, so that I would wake up. So if I'm tired, my mind will replicate the sensations of the car, of someone pushing my car to wake me up. But for that, I have to be extremely tired and extremely vulnerable. That's why whenever I'm online, that's why I'm being deprived of sex, because if I go online and I look for sex, they're gonna be pushing drugs and staying awake for days. And if that doesn't happen, no, the gang stalking isn't. But gang stalkers know that because I'm a human being, I'm gonna be out there looking for sex. But listen to me, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm not gonna be looking for sex anymore for as long as it takes, until I have made enough content and I have a place to live in. Until my life is stable again, I am not gonna be pursuing any type of sexual interaction with anyone else ever again. Until my social life is normal, I am not going to be looking for any type of interaction or I'm not going to engage in any type of behavior that is conducive to gang stalking, to the conditioning. And that's it. That's that. Period. That's my next move. And that is what I should have done a long time ago. But I just felt so negative about myself. The perception of myself was twisted in such a way that I didn't see myself valuable enough to stop using drugs, to stop trying to engage in unprotected sex with strangers, because I was conditioned to see myself as trash. And I have managed to stop seeing myself as that. Regardless of how hot I fucking became, dude, I still saw myself as trash. But now, you know, hypnosis is very real, dude. Whenever you have people around, their perception of you, they're imposing their. Whenever I would go online, people would tell me, "Oh, you're." They would be like, "Oh yeah, you're looking for sex," and they would assume that I'm looking to have unprotected sex with strangers and use drugs and all of this stuff. So it was a given. So the fact that I see people making these assumptions, I would fall for them. I would assume that was the truth without me even knowing. And the only way it's changing is if I'm somewhere and they're using any of these harassment tactics, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm not gonna deal with this. Why? Because now I value my time. I value myself. And as soon as someone makes an aggression, such as sticking their dick in my ass with, straight ahead with the intention of hurting me, which I have encountered a lot of times before, I endured that because I saw myself as trash, and I was like, okay, just keep going. That I can't believe I allowed people to treat me like that. And I would allow them to have sex with me even when they were obviously treating me as trash. It hurts my soul that I thought so low of myself. And I am never gonna fucking allow that to happen again. Why? Because now I see how I was manipulated to see myself as trash. And I believed it. But that is no longer. I am always going to try to see it as, I am always going to try to transmute others' experiences in the most positive light possible. And the way that I'm doing this is by expressing to you how true these manipulations, how insane and effective and powerful these manipulations of people are. I thought of myself as trash, and I allowed people to basically rape me. And I convinced myself that it was okay for them to treat me like that. And I will not accept that anymore. And I will not allow anyone to touch me unless they are incredible. Because that is what I fucking deserve. And I am gonna, and you bet your ass, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that everyone fucking knows what this shit is all about. And it is literally, it's all about destroying someone in every single way, shape, and form. And you better believe that I am going to be dead before I stop spreading the message of the truth. That this whole gang stalking thing is real, and it is something so calculated that it is unbelievable. And if you, whoever you are, target or not, believe it or not, it's okay, because you might not be my target audience. My target audience is someone who is going through this, whose life was perfect, who had their shit together, but all of a sudden they have no idea why all of a sudden they lost everything, and they began seeing themselves as trash and allowed people to treat them as such. And it's something that they don't understand. And this is because the people that go through these are typically people that are not manipulative. It is people that see the world through rose-tinted glasses. and they see the best in people. But I'm here to tell you, if you were made to believe that you are trash when you knew you weren't, and that you know that you are not, but somehow you are allowing people to treat you as such, it is because you have been convinced that you are. And the moment that you start allowing people to impose their treatment as trash on you, that means that you have unwillingly accepted their perception onto you, and you just don't know about it. And it is sinister, and it is underhanded. It is a psychological attack that is impossible to detect and impossible to block if you do not know what you're dealing with. I have had to learn how to build a psychological shield. And you know what that shield is? I have had to go to the extremes of telling myself, this is my prayer, this is what it is. It says, mente de acero, billetera llena de dinero, cuerpo espectacular e imposible de manipular. It literally says, mind of iron, wallet filled, stuffed with bills, spectacular body, and impossible to manipulate. But in Spanish, that rhymes. And I have to repeat this in my head 24/7, day in, day out for the past couple of days. And it is because I have to re-establish my self-perception 24/7 in order for me to be able to undo all these psychological attacks that I have been enduring for all these years. And I am committed, for as insane as it sounds, to be repeating this fucking poem, whatever it is that you want to call it, this prayer, to my spirit, to not allow any type of manipulation to be effective on me. Listen, and I know it works because whenever I hear a gang stalker saying whore, it doesn't have the pain. It doesn't invoke any pain like it used to, because I am too busy invoking psychological images of me being powerful, me being made of iron, my wallet being filled with money, me being impossible to manipulate by this fucking army of losers. Regardless of them being outwardly successful or not, they're still losers. And that's the thing. My perception of them is starting to change too. I'm actually beginning to see them as losers. Before, like for example, at work, I am a hard worker. And I am a great employee. And I am, now that I have to defend my job, because it is favorable to the gang stalkers for me to lose it. I have to be the best employee I can possibly be. So like yesterday, Anthony, he's like a shift leader, and he said he told my boss, hey, do you want me to do this? And do you know what she said? Oh, Anonymous already did it. And I saw the thing, the impact that it made on his psyche. I saw that I'm supposed to be the loser, and yet I am the one making sure that the store looks fucking impeccable. You know what? And I feel fucking proud of that. That even regardless of anyone doing work or not, I am not gonna allow them to change the perception of myself. I don't care if they're lazy or not. They're the ones that are lazy. I am a hard fucking worker, and regardless of them recognizing it or not, I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? I don't depend on their recognition of my work for me to know what I'm worth. As long as I know what I'm worth, who I am, and me being an asset to the fucking company that is pretty much paying my rent and paying my car and paying my bills, as long as I know that I deserve that money, I am not gonna stop trying to be the best fucking worker I can possibly be. And nothing is gonna fucking change that, regardless of them perceiving me as a loser for working while they're chatting. I don't care what they do. They're the ones doing the you do you. But I'm not gonna jeopardize my fucking job because my self-esteem depends on it. My self-esteem depends on me doing my duty as an employee to the best of my ability, because that is what an overachiever does. An overachiever overachieves. A lazy person doesn't do shit. They're lazy. I love working. They don't. And that is how I have to maintain the perception of me. So since I began listening to my recordings of my perception of self, of who I am, of who I want to be, of who I was before gang stalking was something, I literally always gave my best shot, regardless of me getting paid for it or not. When I was self-employed, I gave it my best. I gave my best shot to everything. When I was working for $15 an hour at fucking LA Fitness, I worked a lot more because I wanted to make sure that my clients got their results. And guess what? They did. I changed fucking lives. I made an impact on people's lives. And I can't believe that I fucking forgot that. I was manipulated by a bunch of people into forgetting who I the fuck am, And that cannot happen. I just stopped caring. I stopped seeing myself like how I used to. And people who are trashier than me believe they're better than me. People who are injecting fentanyl, who are, doing all kinds of fucking drugs, crystal meth, And I allowed them to fucking mislead me. Lead me astray. And that's what the devil does. But I have managed to remember who the fuck I am. And I am never gonna allow anyone to tell me otherwise, regardless of them liking it or not. I am not going to fucking behave in any manner that is self-deprecating, that is self-destructive anymore. I lost vision because of gang stalking. I lost everything, even myself. I have always known who I am. I have always hang on to it. But I was barely hanging out by a fucking thread, But that is how insane and how effective these manipulations are. That I forgot who the fuck I am, I forgot. I stopped caring. And that, from all the gang stalking, that is what actually hurts. Nothing hurts. In fact, I think this whole gang stalking thing has made me stronger than ever. But the one thing that hurts is that I allowed people to convince me to stop believing in myself. And I can't allow that to ever happen again. Getting gang stalked or not. Well, this video was about my psychological shield. And my psychological shield is literally, if you're getting gang stalked, whether if you're getting harassed, the harassment is pretty much to destroy every part of you, to make you forget who you truly are and what you deserve. It's an attack on your spirit, on your soul, on your well-being. It is designed to destroy everything of you, to take everything away from you. Any type of gift that God gave you, any type of power that you've had, to have you destroyed. Now I don't see them as gang stalkers, they're narcissists. They're narcissists because that's what narcissists are excellent at. So when you encounter for the first time a narcissist, and you go online and you are trying to expose them, guess who's gonna be ready to counterattack you? All the other narcissists. You're lying, you're so full of shit, that's the moment that they want. Is for you to go out and speak your mind and tell the truth. But all the other narcissists, all the flying monkeys, but you don't know this when you're going through a narcissist, when you're done with a narcissist, you don't know this. But the moment you're like, oh, he's a narcissist, blah, 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 all the narcissists are going to be attacking you. No, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. And that is going to make you feel that you are crazy. You're going to feel that that's one of the things that they do. It's one of their climactic points of any type of narcissistic relationship. When you are trying to expose a narcissist, they are going to paint you as crazy. And then if you get up again, guess what? The next one is going to try to destroy you. Until they actually do. And let me tell you, this is the biggest challenge I've had in my entire life. This is the biggest fight I have ever fought. And now I feel like finally the tables are beginning to turn in my favor. Even when they might not look like they're turning in my favor. Even when they might not look like they're turning in my favor, they are. Because for the first time in many years, I actually have faith in myself. So, this is how I have been blocking any psychological attacks. It's literally by having this YouTube channel, by understanding the manipulations, and most importantly, by continuously, day in, day out, remind me of how amazing and how powerful I actually am. And when the day ends, you bet your ass I put the recording that keeps telling me how amazing and how powerful I am via whispers. I use the same tactics that the gang stalkers are using. And let me tell you, that shit works. Because for the first time ever, I was able to turn around the voices that were created by the gang stalkers in my mind, into them. And because for the first time I have managed to turn the voices around of that the gang stalkers themselves put in my mind to actually empower me. I just know via instinct that the fact that the voices have actually turned into my favor when I was hearing them tells me that there has been a fundamental change in the perception of myself. That I have managed to turn the perception of me into a positive perception, regardless of what is being said. The voice told me, I am going to help you from now on. I am on your side. You can do this. Is it strange that all of a sudden I don't even want to smoke a cigarette? Is it strange that all of a sudden I don't have the most minute drive to fucking use drugs, to hook up, to like I don't want to. I genuinely don't want to. Some fundamental change happened in my head this last time around. The fact that I was able to endure gang stalking and not behave like crazy, that I was attaching myself to reality, regardless of me feeling my car being swayed for hours on end, hearing voices and hearing echoes and voices and everything telling me of how awful, how I'm a whore, of how I'm a slut, of how my world was literally turned upside down for a couple of weeks. And I was still able to hang on to my sanity and say nothing, have no reaction. I was able to not make a fool. I made the gang stalkers wait 7 months. And even when I went on a binge, I was able to stay sane and prove to myself that I have understood gang stalking so much that even when they are using all the weapons, they were actually able to tell me more information without them even knowing. This is how I know that the thoughts that are whispered are actually put into your head. Because guess what? I did the same thing. I whispered something, and then I heard it like 5 seconds later in my head. I was watching a show to which I was having emotions, right? And guess what? Whenever I felt the emotion, the recording that was telling me positive things, whatever the recording said at that time where I felt the emotion, boom, it triggered what the recording was saying. Whenever I had the emotion, you're amazing, papacito, eres increíble, eres fenomenal. And guess what was the result of that? The result of that was me getting my self-esteem back and turning the perception of me to such a point that the voices in my head began helping me. If that is not a breakthrough, I do not know what. Well, I know that's a breakthrough. I just fucking know it. And guess what? My behavior now is changing. I don't want to use drugs. I don't want to even smoke a cigarette. I am prioritizing my sleep. I am prioritizing my work. This before going to the gym and trying to look good so that people would think that I'm hot. I don't even care. I care because I want to look good for myself, but not for anyone, but not for a man or for a girl. No, I want to make myself capable of being an overachiever and having my self-esteem again. I want to be able to wear Ray-Bans to the office like I used to. To know that I am a badass regardless of what other people think about me. And and that is exactly what's going on. I'm going to work. I'm busting my ass off at work, but I don't care if I am not getting paid enough at this point. because that is what is sustaining me. And I know that the whole gang stalking thing is gonna make it impossible for me to get another job anywhere else. So I have to be the best employee I can possibly be, and I have to manage myself to somehow create another opportunity. And this is the opportunity that I'm trying to create. And let me tell you, there is nothing more important to me now than this, than what you're seeing. Because no one has done this before. Everyone talks about direct energy weapons. Everyone talks about, oh, the voices in my head are awful. They tell me the worst of the worst. But no one understands why. I knew that the voices could be changed to help me. I knew it. And I fucking did it. And I know how. I fucking found out how to change the voices in my head to be helping me, to be friendly, to push me to reaching my goals. And that is to change the true subconscious perception that you have of yourself. And if gang stalking has done one thing, that is the one thing that it destroyed me, but it's helped. It's giving me the methods, the psychology. It's giving me the psychology, guys, that only manipulators know. People who do not manipulate do not know this shit, but manipulators know how to make a people believe they're nothing. And now it's out here in the internet. And let me tell you, I am so proud that this is where all this information is going to. I am so proud of not letting an army of people destroy me. I feel like I'm made of iron. I feel like I don't know. I'm here to learn. The fact that I have acknowledged that I'm gonna be harassed, but I am willing to go through the harassment only so that I can observe, document, and tell you guys everything about it. Makes me feel so much better about this. That is part of the shield. That is why I don't feel personally attacked by any of the insults that I'm being thrown at. Because I know that there is a greater purpose to it. And the greater purpose is to make all of this information public. Is to warn you guys, even those who have nothing to do with gang stalking, who just by curiosity are here to learn more about it. That there is, I was thinking maybe this channel is more about manipulation than about gang stalking. But they are inextricably tied together. They are mutually exclusive, or whatever it is. I'm not sure if I said that meaning the opposite, but they are. One cannot exist. They're inextricably tied together. Narcissism, gang stalking, and manipulation are all in the same arena. Which now adds meaning to why there's a triangle on the logo. And there's a circle that is tying all of that together. That's kind of cool. So I didn't even consciously do that, but now I'm seeing it. Which is freaking cool. Because they're not, well, one cannot exist without the other. They're all part of the same beast. And the fact that, that I can see all of this, and I can prepare those that are going through this shit, is an honor. And let me tell you, the fact, I understand now, because of this channel, I understand why gang stalkers are continuously telling you, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar, even when you know you're not. You know why? Because, or you're a whore, you're a whore. Because the more they push that message to you, there's gonna be a point where where you're gonna break psychologically, and you are gonna believe that to be true, whether or not you are aware of it. And that's fucking crazy. Now I can see the world like how they see it. I can see when something gets to someone. Like I am significantly aware. I can manipulate people into feeling bad without saying a word. I can. If I'm getting gang stalked by someone, do you know what I do? I look at their face and I look at the worst wrinkle they have, and I just stare at it. And I'm having a conversation with them while I am making faces and I have the conversation, but I'm looking at right straight at like if they're going bald, I look at their bald spot and I make a face and I just have the conversation like if I'm talking to them. And guess what? They stay quiet and they stop doing the gang stalking thing. I didn't say anything. I pulled up their freaking worst, their weakest link. I made them become aware because when they're abusing someone, they forget about their sensitive spots. But I made them remember, and I make him remember so hard, and I make the face of disgust, and then they know what I'm thinking. They think that I'm feeling disgusted about their hair loss, even when in reality I don't. I just want him. I want him to make them. I just want them to stop gang stalking me, and it works. They forget about gang stalking me, and then they just stop. And I go straight for the jugular. I've done that in so many different ways, but not so many. In a little, only when I'm upset, I do it. I did it like once or two, like 3 times at the most in one day. But I couldn't help it but to feel guilt because I'm not an asshole. But I can act like one. And because of gang stalkers, I have learned how to, like I also learned that whenever you do something and gang stalkers look away and they make like a mocking grin, they're making the mocking grin because they know that the fact they're laughing is gonna make you mad. Not because they think it's funny. It's because they're just manipulating your reactions, your emotions. And I'm starting to see my behavior with people significantly different. So whenever I'm with a gang stalker, and I know for sure they're a gang stalker, that's I practice. I have to because that's how I let out steam. And let me tell you, it worked. I only had to do it a couple of times and then I feel fine. That's exactly what happened. I felt fine. I wasn't angry anymore. So now that's how I can deal with it. It's by doing a personal attack, manipulator style. And that actually helped me. It helped me release some steam without the need to blow up. But now that I'm good, I feel like I need to practice. I know that sounds weird, but I'm no manipulator and I'm no narcissist, but I have to learn how to behave like that when I need to, because that stuff doesn't come natural to me. And I have encountered and I have experienced so many people like that, that I feel like I have learned how to make someone upset without saying a word. And I've seen the anger in their eyes, and I don't feel good doing that. But let me tell you, it makes getting gang stalked a lot easier, because I feel like I can actually answer back, you know. And I think I might just have to like. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. Because one thing that a manipulator or a narcissist ever is gonna do is publicly made it aware that they are manipulative. People who know, but they never leave any evidence, and they never accept it, regardless of how much evidence you might have. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys soon.